I'm Brian Smittle, the owner, and welcome to Thirsty Planet. Folks, we're here at the start of the brewing process. Behind me you'll see a large kind of khaki colored tank that has raw barley in it. So it's 2-row barley, and that is the start of our recipe. Right now we're actually brewing a batch, so we're pulling out probably around 2,000 pounds of barley. It's coming through this white tube that you see, and it's heading into the building towards the mill. So the 2-row barley is coming into the building on this white tube. It's dropping down, and it's actually on its way to the malt mill. Along the way, it's going to pick up specialty ingredients. So we have Munich malt, crystal malt, and carapils in each of these bags, which make up most of our specialty ingredients for our 4 core beers. So the grain is coming through here, going through the white tube, up. You actually hear it right now. We're actually milling in a batch for later this afternoon, and we will mill in the entire batch, in this case Thirsty Goat, before it starts its journey to the brew house. As we said, the grain and the mill are on the other side of the room. They make their way through this conveyor into the mash tun. And so the grain is going to drop through this slide. It's going to get picked up on this kind of Archimedes screw, inject it with water, and it's going to come over and drop into the mash tun. We're going to get that to stabilize at a certain temperature where certain enzymes react, and it's going to convert the starch to a simple sugar. As soon as that process is taking place, we're going to turn on the blades here and actually pump it over to the lauter tun. And we actually just sent a batch in there just a minute or two ago. We'll let you take a picture of that. So the wort is now coming into the brew kettle. We're going to fill this up with 60 barrels of wort, essentially sugar water, and we're going to work it up to a boil. Once it's at a boil, we're going to add hops. Hops will add the bitterness and the floral characteristics to the beer. To a lesser extent, it kind of acts as a preservative. After we've boiled it for an hour and a half, we've got some color reduction, we've sanitized it, we've got the hops to release their oils and things like that. And we're actually going to turn this off, and we're going to pump this entire liquid at about 300 gallons a minute over to the Whirlpool tank. If you've broken open a tea bag in your coffee cup or things like that, you put the spoon in there and you pull it out, all of those settle into the center of the tank. The same principles. We inject it on the side and we get this entire thing spinning, and all of those coagulated proteins and hop resins all sink to the center of the tank, and then we pull it off the side. And so this batch is actually coming out of here right now, and it's on its way to the fermentation tank. So the Whirlpool tank is behind me. We have today's first batch coming out of that. It is all settled and kind of separated. It comes through a series of pipes, and then it comes through the heat exchanger. So on the other side, it's around boiling temperature, around 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And on this side, it's about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Comes out, we are actually sending it, and we're injecting it with oxygen for the yeast to get to grow and things like that. It's coming through here, it's going into this union panel, and then it's coming up on its way through the ceiling into one of the fermentation tanks. So the wort is coming out of this pipe right here. It's coming through this purple hose. We just injected all the yeast into the batch, and it's coming around and going into the bottom of this tank right here. So we'll actually put 4 batches of beer in this tank. The first one is going in right now. We'll have 2 more today, and then 1 first thing tomorrow morning. So at the end of fermentation, the beer, we run around a 1-week primary and about 2 weeks cold, so around a 21-day cycle. After the beer is chilled for that amount of time, the yeast drops out of the cone, and then we pull the beer out of the side. It comes through that union panel and back through here. It then passes through a plate and frame filter, and it goes into our bright beer tanks. And that's actually what we're kegging off right now. So we started this morning with about 60 barrels of Thirsty Goat, and we are actually using a counter pressure filler here, and we're actually filling the kegs right now. So we're at the end of our line. All of this beer is going out today. It's going out in 6-packs, 12-packs, slim kegs and big kegs. This goes to our distributor. Our then distributor will take it and load it onto their trucks, and it goes to bars and restaurants and things like that. We're now going to pull some of our brewers out of their brewing job, and they're actually going to walk you through some of our 4 core beers.
Hi, I'm Tyrell Elliott. I'm a brewer here at Thirsty Planet. I've been here for about 4.5 years. So today I'm going to talk to you about Yellow Armadillo, which is our American wheat beer. It's our lightest beer, about 4% ABV, but it's got a nice clean malt character that's got a lot more flavor than you would think for a 4% beer. So the next beer I want to talk about is our American Pale Ale. It's called Palehead. It's kind of the little brother to our bigger, bolder IPA, the Buckethead. This one kind of fits a spot in our lineup that's more sessionable, and it's still got a fair amount of bitterness and malt flavor. So it's not a light beer per se, but it fits that kind of classic American Pale Ale profile.
Hi, I'm Kellen. I've been a brewer at Thirsty Planet now for about 4 years, and we're going to talk about Thirsty Goat. Thirsty Goat is a delicious, medium-bodied amber ale. Amber is one where it's not too aggressive any one way. So you have nice caramel malts, so you have Munich malt in the beginning, and then we finish it up with a lot of Hallertau hops. Next, we're going to talk about Buckethead IPA. Buckethead is an American-style IPA that's old school. It's 8.9%, so quite boozy. We throw in caramel malts, so it has a nice sweetness when you start. And then we have 4 different types of hops. And the last part about it makes it pretty unique is that we actually use a hop back, which goes right from the kettle into the hop back, that's the wort. And we soak the wort in large cascade leaves. Overall, it makes it a nice citrusy finish. And to be honest, it's the staff's favorite. Like, it's really approachable, but at the same time, gets you there, wherever there is.
Folks, thanks for taking the tour. Go down to your local bar and restaurant and enjoy a Thirsty Planet beer. Thanks.